Well, hello everybody, the History Guy here, and ready to dive into a game that I talked about briefly in a preview of upcoming games a while back. This is We, the Revolution. It was just released today, March 21st, 2019. It is $17.99, I believe, on Steam right now. Full price is $19.99, but it's on sale 10% off at the moment. Just came out within the last hour, and I've just installed the game, and I'm ready to dive in and take a very first look at it. I am going to play through the whole game, though it won't be all in this first episode. This first episode is really just a first look to give us all a look at what the game is all about. If I understand correctly, this is a story-driven kind of game with a lot of decisions to be made, a lot of strategy. And you are a judge during the time of the French Revolution when you were passing judgment on other people's lives, but very quickly could find yourself on the wrong end of those judgments if you got in with the wrong people. So I'm gonna go ahead and let kind of the cutscenes and stuff play out, and we'll take a first look and play through the first part of this game, We the Revolution. So let's dive in.
Father, I am here. Do you hear me? I gave you the best I could. Why did you disown me? I have your blood in my veins. How could you? Do I mean nothing to you? Why did you grieve for him? He was nothing. I am better than he was. People will follow in my footsteps. Father.
All right, so let's see what happens here. Wouldn't this actually be the turn of the 19th century? Oh, no, 18th. That's right. Okay. 1789. I guess it depends on how you look at turn of the century. I hope that's not me that's puking and wiping his mouth with the flag. All right, we're in the courtroom. Remind me next time that I want to stop drinking this cloudy rot gut. Remind me before I drink it. Raymond Devoyer is this guy's name. We are disgracing Themis. Ha! Is someone coming? All right. I'm not going to read all of the dialogue. I'll let you see that for yourselves. So it looks like we got a family here, and the dad's an alcoholic. So these must be my two sons, and this is my wife, I guess. So I'm the alcoholic. Okay. Documents and letters. Drag and drop documents to manage their layout. Click to display their contents. React to events. Ignoring them may have severe consequences. Notebook. Detailed information about current events, actions, and characters. Verdict. That's where we pass a sentence, I guess. There's the options. Review the current balance of power in Paris and your position therein. Intrigues or complex conflicts between you and another political player. A defeat may turn out to be disastrous for you, and influence points, the main currency in the game. Use them wisely. Pay close attention to changes in your influence and relations with factions. Some of your decisions and changes in the world of the game may cause global modifiers to come into action. These factors affect relations, reputation, and influence. You can review them in the notebook. Man, there's a lot to be managed here, and you can see right up front that there's a lot of different directions this game can go depending on the decisions that you make. So I can see that very quickly things could go very wrong or go really well. And so there's probably going to be a lot of replayability to this, even though it's kind of a story-driven game. All right, so you can click on a defendant and ask questions. Gather information and influence the jury's attitude by questioning the defendant. To ask questions, you have to first unlock them in the inquiry linking menu. Being in the jury's good graces allows you to find out which way they will sway after you have asked a question. All right, so we have to unlock said questions. How does one do that? Let's go ahead and take a look at the case file. We have not expected this kind of behavior from your son, although apparently we should have. Innocent child's play turned into an assault on our children. The younger one, Antoine, now has a chipped front tooth. We hope that you will punish your child accordingly. Should the situation repeat itself, we will react more decisively. I am sure we can deal with a gambler and a drunkard, even if he is a judge. So I guess each of these red things give me something I can click on. So we're talking about him being innocent. So let's talk about this being innocent child's play. So we can make mistakes while making or asking questions. So let's talk about the child's play. Let's find out the course of events. All right, so we've got a question discovered. So I suppose now we can go back. What exactly were they saying? Are you too drunk to guess? I was not asking you. They were yelling that you are, well, I told them that it's not true. And they started calling me names. They called me a drunkard's son. Okay. So let's find out exactly what this assault was. I mean, what led to it, I guess, is my question. No, darn it. Okay, fighting children. What happened? How did your play turn into a fight? There we go. Our neighbors, Antoine and Jean, they were saying mean things about you. We were playing guards, and they asked me to pretend to be a drunkard whom they would, you know. You were fighting both of them at once? I had to. Interesting. All right. So the question is, what happened here? Oh, darn it. Oh, no. All links have been used. Okay. I guess that's all I'm going to get. So, I mean, the kid was fighting, I suppose. So we're going to say he was guilty. I don't know what that means. Hopefully he isn't punished too severely. But he did do it. So even though he's my son... Those children are so small and they already know the truth. The father of my children is a lying, drunk, and gambler. Bernard used to worship you, but he soon grew up. Now it is Frederick's turn to learn the truth that echoes in the streets. Okay. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
Paris. Liberté! We were enchanted by the idea of freedom. We could not resist it. Whole families took to the streets. France was never so happy. we were enchanted by the idea of freedom.
Freedom for who is the question. All right, so I guess maybe we're probably done with the prologue. Here we go, Act 1. Liberté. All right, let's see what happens. I don't usually watch the cutscenes in games, but with this one I obviously am because it kind of plays into the story. Find out which verdict is expected by the factions and your close ones. Interesting. So revolutionaries want him to be acquitted. Common folk and my family want him to go to prison. Man, so it's going to be interesting to find that fine line between doing what's right and doing what people expect. So I guess let's take a look at the case file. One of the local merchants, Guy we'll just call him Guy because that's his name, Guy, not Guy, went to the National Guard station near the halls. With a raised voice, he stated that the owner of a neighboring stall had purposefully poured wood tar into his barrel of herrings. For the supposed crime, he demanded a proper punishment. Soldiers went to the halls and established that the herrings did indeed taste awful. Since there was no evidence of the crime, they did not take any actions. A few hours later, the guards returned to the halls. This time, it was the formerly accused Jean Corbie who called for them. And there was a plethora of evidence on site. The clearest being himself. He smashed his neighbor's stall with a long wooden pole in front of witnesses. All right, so we're not going to worry about this too much because it seems like there was no evidence of this, but the second time it feels like maybe there was. So let's talk about the wooden pole. Let's talk about the crime scene. No, okay. Not so good there. Protocol. Okay. There's no trial records so far. Okay. Interesting. Let's look at the hierarchy. What is this here? There's Robespierre himself, the man in charge of the terror, the man who eventually went to the guillotine himself. So he's all the way at the top. And, of course, we have Fidele, who's my buddy, down here at the bottom. And I guess we haven't unlocked all the other folks yet. So I would like to report that Citizen Corbie does not pay the city for his stall. Furthermore, he openly criticizes the new rule when talking to his clients. All right, so we haven't unlocked... Oh, here we go. Denio, fresh fish since 1772. And Vandal since yesterday. Not proud of what I did, but enough is enough. So here's Corbie. Really? Like when 6 months ago you stole 8 francs from my revenue? Some urchin took that from your pockets while you were... Silence, you shall not speak until questioned. All right. So I guess we can only talk to this guy. We don't have any questions yet, so we got to figure this out. Not entirely sure why any of those have a lot to do with what we're doing here. All right, we've got a question here. What products does Citizen Corbie sell? Fruit and vegetables, and you sell fish. Yep. Yeah, I think you both kind of came with the wrong intentions in mind here. All right. Now we're going to interview this guy. Is it true that you took his place? He took my place first from a dead merchant. I only did the same at a convenient time. Was that your first conflict? Why did you have wood tar with you that day? Huh. All right. So now we've started to get some questions here, and we've got kind of a review of what has already been said. So let's continue down. Looks like we've still got the ability to unlock some questions. Let's talk a little bit about the counter-revolutionary propaganda. We have found your denunciation of Citizen Corby. Did you write it? Oh my gosh, both of these guys. This is just a spat between two guys, really. So common folk in the family are in favor of prison. It seems like revolutionaries are in favor of acquittal, and the jury is too. So I'm kind of leaning that direction right now, but I'm not entirely sure. All questions unlocked. Perfect. A red mullet taken by his wife. Oh, man. Now the jury has gone over to guilty. Can we ask any more questions of him? I don't think there's any more questions to be asked. All right, so I guess this is all I'm going to get as far as what's going to happen here. Revolutionaries aren't going to be happy with me. They're pretty even, though. Yikes. So this shows what will happen. I'll get in good with the revolutionaries, not so good with the common folk. All right, we're going to acquit. Sorry, that's what I'm doing. Take it and like it. The jury's not going to be happy with me either. Yes, your personal dispute should not be resolved in court. You're free to go, but move your stall. So the jury's not happy that I didn't listen to them, but oh well, so it goes. Moving on. Jacques-Louis David. I believe he was killed during the French Revolution. I think there's, or maybe he's the painter that I just remember his name being associated with some dude dead in a bathtub. I don't know if it was him that died or if it was him that painted the death. May I remind you that you promised to join me. I have a feeling that tonight's moon favors gamblers. Oh boy. Dude, seriously. Though it does not favor spouses. Okay, he is the painter. That's what I thought. You are a sly politician, Jacques. Oh boy, my family's not going to be happy with me. Yes, I will keep my promise. I'm already in bad with my family for the choice I made on that case. Brutal. Look at the sad family while I gamble and drink. I'm a despicable human being.
The moon favors gamblers.
Oh, here we go. This is not going to go well. She's mad at you, dude. I'm still standing on the shore hoping your boat does not sink. So she loves me, but she's displeased with me. Good night. Before the storm creates the highest wave, you have to bow before it alone. It will force you to become meek, and nobody will be there to see it. Dun dun dun. Okay, relations with family. So my sons, Aldrich, I don't know who that is. That's me, I guess, right? All right. Upon returning home, you can decide how you would like to spend the rest of your day. Each action will affect the other members of the family as well as their attitude toward you. Certain bonuses. Okay. Your youngest son is special. His attitude makes the other family members like you slightly more. Take good care of him. All right. After important events, you may find yourself with an action forced upon you. On this day, you become the victim of your own decisions. Okay. You went with David to play cards. So what does that mean? I guess we're not clicking on anything at the moment. We just have to accept that. Ooh, went down with everybody. We're going to have to work on that. Day 2, Liberté. Today, the people of Paris commemorate Jacques-Guillaume Simoneau, mayor of Étampes. He was lynched by a furious mob for performing his duties to France. This march shall symbolize the unity of our society and the hope that the most violent stage of the revolution is past us. Let's make sure that no other loyal servant of France becomes such a victim of such hatred ever again. Signed, King Louis XVI. All right, we haven't taken his head yet. Simoneau was a good loyal officer. Those bastards lynched him for observing the law. Will you join me at the march? Boy. Well, the last thing I did got me in good with the revolutionaries, so maybe this gets me back in good with other people. We ought to show that we oppose the self-appointed executioners and stand alongside the victims. I wonder why the king has taken the trouble to show up. King Louis XVI, marching arm in arm with the people of Paris. That is unexpected. King Louis. Wait, the king just showed up in my courtroom? Louis Capet. Continue, please. I am merely an observer. Do not change your habits for me. I heard a thing or two about a young and ambitious judge of the tribunal. I was curious whether he is guided by justice or by entertainment, as some would say. Alrighty then. Definitely wasn't expecting the king to show up and watch my court. Alright, so this is going to be interesting. Let's see. The common folk want an acquittal. The revolutionaries want prison. Let's take a look at the case file. The defendant is Olivier Mugler, a 65-year-old master locksmith who is famed among Parisian burglars as an expert on unopenable locks. Last month, he was commissioned by the owners of a Parisian glassworks, Jean Rude, Louis Roux, and Ferdinand Salan, to construct locks for ornate chests for valuables. As gifts for their wives, the craftsmen praised this latest creation as thief-proof. Shortly following their completion, the industrialist houses were hit by a series of burglaries committed by a recent newcomer to Paris. The thief from Orleans was caught in the act and shot by Ferdinand Salan. An expensive Turgot map of Paris with the houses of the recently robbed industrialists marked on it was found by the deceased. So I'm guessing they're thinking that this locksmith kind of tipped them off. So I guess that's the deal here. Where's page 2? All right. Let's take a look. Map. Let's take a look at this map and find out whether or not it's actually the map that he provided. Robbing the bourgeoisie is no crime. Okay, so this guy's pretty much claiming he did it. According to the case file, you are citizen Olivier Mugler. That is correct. That wasn't him that yelled that, I guess. May I have a request? I would like to sit down. I'm an old man, you see. Basis of respect for the judiciary requires that you remain standing. All right. So these are just like people in the crowd that are shouting. Sounds like the name of my debtors. They're victims of activities you conducted. You mean locksmithing? All right. Do you recognize this map? All right. So they're claiming that he gave this map, and he's claiming he never saw it before. Sounds like Salon, who shot the burglar, may be trying to cover something up. Why would he have shot the guy who could testify? Okay. And he's the same person who's claiming that he got the map. Yeah, I feel like he's being framed. I lost it. It wasn't even worth a loaf of bread, so I surely won't shed a tear. But if you have it, maybe you stole it from me. You'd better make a note that Olivier Mugler demands remuneration from Rude, Rue, and Salon. All right. Interesting. So let's talk about... Oh boy, let's see. No. How about... I want to know about the burglaries. Maybe we can... Alright. Did you tell Hector Vion how to open the locks in the victim's trunks? I understand what you're implying, but consider this. If he sold the secret of my locks, then my business would be over. That's actually a really good point. And yeah, I'm kind of feeling acquittal as well. Let's find out a little more, though. It really feels like he's being framed. All right, here come the witnesses. Let's see what they have to say about this. Jean Rude in the flesh. You will not speak unless called upon. What went missing during the burglary? My house was the first one to be robbed. In my case, it was mostly valuables. He will not say it himself, and I do not want to go to prison. It was letters he had exchanged over the years with King Louis. Oh, boy. And the king's sitting right here. I have a feeling the guy that shot the guy was really the one that was in on this. Because he had nothing stolen. He had hid the other items before robbing the last house. Strange. If I were to talk nonsense in court, I would be sentenced to a few years. Is that true? He was instructed on... Yeah, Salon's the guilty guy here, for sure. Yeah, I think I've already got enough, but... wait. The revolutionaries want prison, but in this case, I'm going with the other folks here. So I want to look real quick at the neighborhood gossip. In this city, only the dead are free of addiction. What do you care about people's idle gossip? Okay. So this is gonna hurt me with revolutionaries, but that's okay. Because I'm a little higher with them right now. Wait, what was that? Poor Papa. Poor meaning for in this case. P-O-U-R, not poor as in pour drinks out. Alright. I think I know where I want to go with this one. We're gonna go with acquittal. To be honest, this does bear the marks of social justice. They would not pay him, so he had them robbed. There's balance here. Yeah, he didn't do it, though. He was framed. He was totally framed. All right, nothing new here on the hierarchy. This is my first time playing, so I'm still kind of getting my bearings a little bit with some of this stuff. So I guess we go on to the next thing now. Oh, so now I get a map. So this map probably unlocks some new features.
King Louis XVI. There were people who truly loved him. He reminded the French they had noble ancestors. Do not be manipulated by people who are not bearing the burden of responsibility. This saddened me. Someone had advised him to say that. Someone who was well aware of the cold, inevitable wind of change. I did not pity the king, but those who will come after him, as they will not have great ancestors.
Oh yeah, the revolution is coming. Frenchmen marched in the streets of Paris side by side, one after another, to commemorate Jacques-Guillaume Simoneau, Mayor of Vintemps. He was murdered by a furious mob, punished for a law he did not enact but was obliged to observe. Freedom of speech killed him. If we understand this as a right to cast stones to show one's discontent, the right to murder people because you deem them responsible for your miserable life, surely the people of Paris would prefer if we said that nothing happened. So obviously this is going to raise things with the revolutionaries a little bit. Your son is rather good with viola. This is kind of cool because my son actually plays the violin. So he is both talented and enthusiastic. I would prefer that he was as enthusiastic about the law books I gave him. Maybe an artist and not a lawyer. You are spoiling my child. Interesting. All right, so what's going to happen here? Yeah, you attended the parade in memory of the lynched official. And what did that do with all of my people? It raised me with him. It lowered me with Bernard. Ooh, things are going downhill fast with my wife and oldest son. All right, we're on to Act 1, Liberté, Day 3.
That is our new symbol of freedom. You can still smell the fresh wood.
Must be a
Do you
guillotine.
feel free looking at it?
Individuals like us do not need symbols, but France does. Did you hear the news of the day? People are running around like headless chickens and yelling about Louis and his entourage escaping Paris.
So, we will not be enjoying the aroma of fresh wood for long.
Monuments like that are not installed solely for the purpose of punishing thieves or lesser aristocrats.
Do you think it wants to taste royal blood?
Louis's flight was a stupid move, yet it seems it was planned. One of us will sacrifice him. That is, if they catch him.
Is that why Louis visited us at the court? To manipulate us?
I'm sure.
Maybe deep in his heart he felt what the builders of the guillotine did. That someone has to be exposed as a traitor, even if there is none.
Interesting. Wonder how long it'll be before I have an opportunity to send someone to it. All right. I'm the public prosecutor that has been assigned to assist at every tribunal trial starting from today. I should warn you that I am uncompromising, although I hope that we quickly find common ground. In happier news, the construction of the guillotine has been finished. We may begin using it today. Oh boy. The king is gone. Treason. Anyone with information about his whereabouts should immediately disclose it to the authorities. Signed, Robespierre. All right. Let's take a look at this stuff over here. All right, so I'm not going real good with the common folk or the revolutionaries at the moment. I do have some influence that can be used. And I guess we'll see opportunities to do that. Someone at the revolution informed the Revolutionary Patrol that you might be an Austrian spy. Now they are keeping an eye on you. Interesting. Okay. So now we have death penalty as an option in these cases. It looks like so far everybody's in favor of acquittal, but let's find out what's going on here. Jean Ibert, the conqueror of the Bastille and vanquisher of the tyrant de Launay, the hero of all. So this is a guy that led the assault on the Bastille? Criminal collusion in the trial and the charges. All right, let's take a look. Jean Ibert, the famous street urchin who killed the governor of the Bastille, de Launay, carried his head on a pike and has recently been detained. After the triumph of the revolution, he reached the nadir of his life. Though many people still consider him a hero, they do not care that the Parisian archives are filled with complaints about thefts, robberies, and assaults on women. So basically what we've got here is a guy who's a scumbag, but he did something popular with the revolutionaries, so everybody wants him to be acquitted. The current case is much graver, as Ibert is accused of raping 16-year-old Elodie de Pontalba. The charges were brought by the victim's father, who's a baron, so that means he's not going to be in good with the revolutionaries because he's in the nobility here. All right. So we're going to have to tread carefully on this one, it appears. Usually in the mornings, Miss Elodie and I read. However, the chef had that day off, so I was preparing tea. Then I heard her screaming. I ran to her room, but stopped when I heard a male voice. I was scared and asked for help. Medical examination revealed she had been deflowered, minor attrition of the genital area, bruising and hemorrhaging of the arm, spine, and face. So it sounds like she probably was raped. I guess the only question then becomes, was it this guy? All right, so we've got a famous defendant here. We've had multiple complaints about him, though. Ah, darn it. Let's talk about the rape itself. All right, here we go. We're going to talk to the girl. Oh, this is the woman that was caring for her governess. What do you know about the case? He's guilty and should be killed. He used our relationship to get closer to the Baron's daughter and hurt her. What do you mean? Okay. Why did you neglect your duties and stop looking for the victim? After the victim. The Baron ordered me to take care of the house. Elodie didn't have any classes. Interesting. All right. Jury's opinion now is prison. Still got a lot more questions that can be unlocked on this thing. Just got to try and get lucky. Ooh, not so good. Only, yeah, let's hear from the girl. Oh, come on, no! Okay, at least I got another question unlocked. The victim is but a frail girl. Did you really have to beat her that badly? Why would I beat her? I didn't even have to undress her. What? Whoa, interesting. So he's claiming it was consensual. Interesting. So there's probably a reason to possibly let him off here. Oh, darn it. I will not get any more answers. Oh, boy. Nobody's going to be happy with anything other than acquittal, so we're going to go with acquittal. I'm gonna play the self-preservation game on this one, since I really didn't get enough evidence of it. I'm going to go with what's going to help me with the common folk and the revolutionaries, because right now I'm not in particularly great with either one of them, but the jury's not going to be happy about it. So, all right. Playing the political game, unfortunately. I really didn't get any questions answered on this one. No, he didn't confess. Yeah, it was kind of counter-revolutionary in nature. Okay. So that's my report. Now what do I do here? I guess I sign it. I agree, but hey, this is what France fought for when storming the Bastille. The judge is one of us. Yeah, I know. Oh, so they say it was not counter-revolutionary. Oh, no, I guess it was technically revolutionary. That's what I really meant to say. It wasn't counter-revolutionary. I should have said the opposite. All right, I get it now. I'm learning as I go along here. Interesting. Some influence points go up. I gain some reputation with everyone. So let's go ahead and see what the next thing is. And then I think we'll probably wrap up this first episode, because we've done quite a bit already, but there's certainly a long way to go on this thing. Due to the establishment of a revolutionary tribunal, we need to prepare an official stamp. I was told to ask you, citizen, because President Devoye is indisposed. Oh boy. Oh, I get to design my own stamp. All right. That's pretty cool. I like that one. I'm not going to get too crazy with this. That works. Thank you for your time. I know it's late. The stamp should be ready tomorrow. Good luck. All right, what happens with the family now? So I've got a bunch of choices now of what I can do here. I really need to be working on these relationships especially. So let's go on an evening stroll with the wife. How about that? Do I get to choose who it's with? I'll take the whole family. All right, so we'll take the whole family for an evening stroll. Aldrich didn't like that, but things are going to go up with everybody else, which is much needed. Excellent. All right, we're on to day 4, and I'm going to wrap it up right there, and we will continue on with this later on. Let me know your thoughts. You've got a first kind of look at what this game is all about, but I'm sure it's got a long, long way to go. We haven't even gotten into Louis' execution and the terror that is to come. I'm sure it's going to get crazy. We've probably not even touched the surface of this game, but that's your first look at We the Revolution. Let me know your thoughts below. Please hit that thumbs up. And check out some of my other videos if you would. Check out Patreon if you want to. And we will see you again soon. Thanks for watching, guys.